I could disappear, Caleb thought to himself as he sat on the couch, trying to dissociate as Lily was yelling at him over what happened at dinner with Athena and what's his name. Are you even listening to me? Lily asked, snapping him back into reality as he stared at her, his mouth falling as it made an O shape. Say something or you will never hear the end of this. Caleb thought to himself as he struggled to find the right words to say, not wanting to drag this out longer. Of course you aren't listening to me. I am listening, every single word of it. Then what do I say, huh? She placed her hands on her hips in a diva kind of way. You're upset, that's what you were talking about. So, you go with the safe answer, What other answer is there? He thought as he rolled his eyes. You completely humiliated me, Lily shrieked, glaring at Caleb as she sat next to him on the couch. I don't think you needed my help in that department, Caleb scoffed, rolling his eyes in annoyance. He immediately regretted saying that as he began to mentally curse himself. He wished the day would finally end so he could stop the drama. But knowing Lily, she would keep him up until dawn explaining why she was right, and he was wrong. He mentally prepared himself for this argument since they sat in that booth with Athena and her date, whose name he had forgotten. He didn't care to remember either, even if anyone asked. What is that supposed to mean? Caleb blinked in disbelief at her words and raised an eyebrow. He couldn't believe how she was acting. It was like watching a child throw a tantrum. He kept asking himself why she couldn't see her wrongdoings. She was playing the victim, and he just wanted to go to bed. Answer me! Lily yelled, knocking him out of his trance. What did you say again? I asked what you meant by it, she quickly replied, crossing her arms. Her voice rose a bit louder than before. How did I embarrass myself? Lily asked, sarcasm dripping from her tone. She clearly didn't think she was wrong, and she'd make sure he knew it. You snapped at Athena back at the coffee shop. She's just a wedding planner. She should do what we are paying her for crying out loud. Lily responded with a huff. Caleb couldn't understand why hearing her call Athena just a wedding planner struck a nerve with him. Sure, Athena had hurt him in the past by leaving him for another man, but she had been true to her word when she said she'd do her best to give them an amazing wedding. As much as he'd hate to admit it, Athena wasn't entirely a bad person, at least when it came to her job. He was also impressed by how well she kept her cool, even though Lily's words had clearly bothered her. Don't you think you're being too hard on her? Caleb asked, frowning. She's not just a wedding planner, he said, mostly to himself rather than to her. She promised to get the plaza after failing me. Honey, I think she promised to do her best. You weren't there, she snapped. Caleb, you were off doing whatever it is you do. The way that she said that almost sounded accusing. Hasn't she fulfilled every request? He asked, trying to ignore her harsh words. Well, yes. Can't you give her some credit? She's doing her job. Well, she trailed off, sounding unsure. I suppose I was a bit harsh on her. A bit, Caleb responded sarcastically, snorting. Okay, maybe I was a lot harsher on the poor girl, she mumbled, rolling her eyes. Don't worry, I'll apologize. Thank you, he replied with a smile. That will mean a lot to me. I mean to Athena, Caleb corrected himself, hoping she wouldn't notice his slip-up. Of course, she sighed, chuckling as she got up and looked down at him. Sometimes you can't work miracles. We should always be grateful for having each other. That's all we have at the end of the day, right? Caleb responded, looking back up at her. Of course, love, Lily said, walking away toward the kitchen.